Hey everyone, what's going on? Retire on Dividends here. So YieldMax did announce their distribution. Obviously, later, it's lunchtime now that I'm doing this, but I had to work, so I couldn't get it out to you guys earlier. So I had to wait to get my lunch break and whatnot. But either way, they declared it, so here I am presenting it. But first, a lot of people I see that they ask, well, how did you find out? How do you know? So if you go to the YieldMax website and you scroll all the way down, it'll say contact us, right? So you click contact us, and then it'll ask you to fill in your email, first, last name, blah, 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 blah. And then you can even ask a question or a comment. But either way, if you submit anything, you're now on the email list, and you'll get notifications of new funds. You'll get notifications of declaration date or random things. So it's good. So if you're into YieldMax, it's definitely worth it. So when you get the email, you'll get an email that looks like this, right? It'll come up as a screen print, and it'll show you all the funds, how they did. Which we'll get into in a second, and then we'll show you, the distribution per share, the rate, ex-dividend date, payment date, etc. So the ex-dividend date for this is May 6th, which is Monday. So you can buy into it today and still qualify for the distribution. All right. I know a lot of people also ask that. You have to buy it before, the market closes, and then hold it at least until ex-dividend date, and then you'll get paid. Of course, you could sell it on ex-dividend date too, but keep in mind each fund will drop by at least the distribution amount. All right. Let's get to the results. So how did we do? Let me try to zoom in so we get a nice picture, and I'll keep some of the. First, I'm going to go through the estimates versus my estimate versus the actual, and then we'll go from there. So let's see. From the top. So Tesla, I had estimated 58 cents. They decided to pay 69 cents. Okay. Now, that is 69 cents is in line with last month. So in my opinion, they're still kind of saving face since the reverse split. Because could they afford 58 cents? I'm sorry, 69 cents. Not really, but that's what they paid. And if you look at the file that I have, if I go to Tesla, what did they even make this month, right? They made 36 cents. So they didn't make that much. So obviously, it's going to dip into the NAV. All right, anyway, moving on. OARC, well, I'll show you the yields after. OARC decided to pay 52 cents, which is much higher than I predicted of 38 cents. OARC had an increase of 10% from last month. Oh yeah, by the way, Tesla was a small increase from last month of 1%. Aptly, what did they pay? 33 cents. Whoopee friggin' do. I guess 37 cents, but again, Aptly they're a low payer, man. It's 11% decrease from the prior month. Nvidia. I knew, I kind of guessed when I guesstimated. I thought it was, it could be lower. And of course it was lower. Not much lower, but I guessed $1.35. They paid $1.19. Then that's a 54% decrease from last month. I figured we wouldn't get to, $2 range, but we got $1.19. And if you want to see that, compared to what they made, right? I did add the $1.19 on here. They only made 24 cents this month. So that's actually going to eat into the NAV. But again, I didn't track them previously, so I don't know how much credit carry forward they had from previous months. But again, technically no business paying that amount to begin with, but it's an income fund. They're going to pay. All right, let's check the next four. AMZ. Oh, man. I freaking love AMZ. I lowballed at 68 cents. They're going to pay 97 cents, almost $1. That's a 39% increase from last month. AMZ, it's always been my favorite from the beginning, and they have been, Phoebe. I just got into Phoebe. I knew they'd cut it, and it's down to 89 cents, which is, I guessed 85. It's a 23% decrease from last month. Still pretty good, though. I know Facebook, Phoebe dropped in price, so it is what it is. All right, next is GUI. I said this one was going to be the surprise of the month, and I guess 51 cents. And guess what? They paid 66 cents, so that's really good. We saw Google just blew up the other day, and GUI, they took advantage of that with their synthetic income. So that was an increase of 115%. Nefli, oh man, look at this one. Another one I like. 96 cents, almost $1 on Nefli. I had lowballed that one to death, 65 cents. But no, they're going to pay 96 cents, all right? That's a 20% increase from the prior month. Let's go to the next four. Coney. Talk about lowballing, man. I was thinking it's going to be under $1. I'm sorry, I can't even talk. Under $2, but they're paying, I guess the $1.92. They're paying $2.28. Not bad at all. That's an 18% decrease from last month, but they're still paying over $2. Now, if we go back to their spreadsheet, they actually can afford it. If you look at all income, they made $3.26 per share, right? Short call income alone, though, they only made $1.76 per share. So that's why I was kind of in the middle. But, can they pay $2.28? Absolutely. They still have a NAV reserve carryover of 98 cents per share. Or in total, it's a credit carry forward of $17.7 million. This is why Coney is one of the best funds. So yes, they can afford to pay that. It's not often you can even say that with some of these funds, but Coney, they're making bank, man. Disso, I guess 55 cents. They proved my ass wrong, 70 cents. So again, that's kind of in line with what they've been paying. That's a 3% increase from the prior month. MSFO, they're paying 57 cents. That's a decrease from the prior month of 21%. Zomo, probably the most boring of the bunch. They're going to pay 33 cents. That's a 30% increase from the prior month, though. I'm not going to cover maybe, some of these estimates. But JPMO, they're going to pay 41 cents. Kind of, bleh, I'll say, because they paid 64 cents last month. So this is a decrease of 35%. AMD, what happened? They cut that crap in half. 54% decrease. They're only going to pay 51 cents. PP showing off 94 cents. That's a 102% increase from the prior month. So hello, raise. Squee. They're paying over $1 again, $1.11. This one is unpredictable. That's a 75% increase from the prior month. So good job, Squee. Murdy, another unpredictable one. They're going to pay 94 cents. So that's not bad. 20% increase from the prior month. AIYY, they're going to pay 40 cents. That sucks. That's not worth the risk, in my opinion. I never owned AIYY. Never wanted to. Too volatile for me. And it doesn't even seem like it's rewarding. 40 cents? No, thank you. That's a 43% decrease from the prior month. And last but not least, good old Misty. They paid $4.12 last month. What did they pay this month? $2.52. I thought they'd be a little more generous, but I thought it was going to be $2.94. But is what it is. $2.52 is still good. I know a lot of people wanted the 3 range, but be happy with what you got, man. This is still good money. That's a 38% decrease from last month. So if they paid $2.52. And we go to their file, how much did they actually make? Well, if you consider all income, they made nothing, right? They actually lost money. But if you just look at the short call income, they made $2.56. So that makes sense, okay? They made $2.56. What did we say? They paid $2.52, okay? So in that example, they basically paid all short call income. See, sometimes it varies, guys. Sometimes they just pay the short call income. Sometimes they could pay the credit they got for the call income without the losses, and sometimes they could pay part of the synthetic income. So it's hard to judge this. Income is income. It doesn't matter where it's coming from. And if there's no income, obviously they got to dip. They got to take the money from somewhere. So yeah, those are the estimates. Let's take a look at the yields. Let's go back to the top. And let's see what they're yielding versus their implied volatility. So Tesla is going to yield 52%. That's kind of in line. It's not surprising that they're paying what they're paying because, it did go up since I made the estimate. And that's the problem about doing the estimate 1 week away, but it is what it is. So they're yielding 52%, which is kind of what we expected. Their IV sucks, man, 44%. I feel like it should be much higher. OARC, they're yielding 52%. Their IV also sucks, 35%. Aptly yielding 23%. That's not bad. That's not bad for Aptly. And their IV is 27%. NVIDIA, they're yielding 54%. That sucks, but it's still pretty damn good. Their IV is 62%. If I look at AMZ, they're yielding 48%. That's awesome. That is really good. Their IV is super low too, 25%. So they must have had a really good month. Again, we don't track it. One day I will, for sure. Phoebe, they're yielding 54%. Hell yeah, now that I'm a Phoebe owner. Their IV is only 30%. This is, of course, the 30-day IV, which I'm assuming is right. GUI yielding 44%. I mean, if there's any GUI holders out there, I'm sure you guys had it rough. So congratulations for finally getting a respectable, let's see, let's just look at their record, man. So they're paying 66 cents last month, 30 cents, 25 before that, 42, 22, 37, 39, 38, 29. I guess their payments aren't all that bad, but this is by far their best payment, 66 cents. So good job, GUI owners. Let's go to the next four. What do we got? Nefli, 66% yield, baby. Show me that money. And that's with an IV of 27%. Coney, that's yielding 111%. Hell yeah, 111%. And their IV is 93%. Disso, 41% yield? What? I don't know who owns Disso, but good job. 36% IV. MSFO, 31%. I think that's really good for Microsoft. Their IV is only 21%. All right, what else we got here? Zomo, 22% yield. It's okay. I mean, anything over 20, I think my sweet spot, I always said, was 25. But, for Zomo being as boring and plain as it is, 22%, not too bad. JPMO, 25% yield with a 20% IV. AMD, disappointment, man. 36% yield. Their IV is actually higher, 43%. So they did not do well this month. PP, killed it. 57% yield with a 30% IV. Squee, kind of in line, 61% yield, 65% IV. Murney, 53% yield, 46% IV. AIYY, they did horrible. 38% yield. And look at this IV, 88%. All right? That means the higher the implied volatility, typically higher risk. So you're going to do high risk and you're only going to pay me 38%? Nah, no thank you. And then Misty, a yield of 96%. I thought for sure they'd yield above 100%, but they're close. They're close enough. So they're yielding 96% with a 106% implied volatility. Okay? So that's it. That's the summary. And as usual, I always tell you which underlying is towards a 52-week low to see what is possibly on a discount versus not, okay? Because you may want to buy on declaration date, which is today, in order to qualify for the distribution. Or you may want to buy on Monday, which is ex-dividend date, which is typically, the best discount day because it'll drop by the distribution amount. So as always, Tesla is, towards the low, 25% from the 52-week low. They had a recent jump, but they're still towards the low. So Tesla is, a lot of people in Tesla, and it is at a low. So Tesla has more room to grow, you would figure, based on 52-week highs and lows. A lot of the others, though, man, they're all more towards the 52-week high, except, of course, AIYY, which is 21% away. I don't know about that one, man, though. That's either way. All right, who's 50 and who's in the 50s? All right, OARC 55% from the low. Aptly, okay, so Apple was near the low. Now it's in the higher range, but it's only 56% away from the low. Who else is in the 50s? Anyone else? Well, AMD is 47% from the low. That's pretty good. PP 57% away from the low, and then Misty 54% away from the low. See, that's how much MSTR has dropped. So that just shows you maybe Misty is a buying opportunity. YBIT is 58% away from the low. And, as expected, YBIT did not pay. They did not declare a distribution. Okay? Lining up, coming up soon. I don't know the dates offhand, but Ulti, YieldMax, and YMAG will declare. Obviously, I'll cover that when the time comes. But as far as today goes, today is declaration date. It's a great day. I love declaration date. I love making these videos. I have a fun time doing it. So hopefully you guys enjoy this content. If you did, please, I guess, click the like button, right? If you enjoyed it. But let me know. Let me know what you're happy about, what you're surprised about, what you're pissed off about. Are you pissed that, some are paying too low, some are paying too high? Which ones are you buying? Which ones are you selling? Share the wealth. Share the knowledge. Everyone wants to know. Everyone's, I'm actually curious to see what people are loving nowadays. I mean, I know a lot of people love Misty, of course. A lot of people love Coney, of course. But what about the others? Any love for Amzi out there? Any love for Phoebe? What about AIYY? I know I hate on them, but anybody like them? What about DSO? Some of these are good. But either way, I just wanted to get this video out there, as soon as I could on my lunch break. But yeah, that's all I got for today. I expect a few, good videos this weekend, including the monthly update to my retire on dividends portfolio. And that's pretty much all I got. So thank you for watching, everyone. As always, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained and all that. But yeah, let me know, like I said, in the comments down below what you guys think. I'm just curious, all right? All right, I'm out of here. Have a good one. Later. Happy Declaration Day.